Test, 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 test. Ooh. I literally got married. In case you haven't watched anything or seen anything on any of my other social media at this point, you have a right to know. I, Michael Guy Bowman, am a married man. This is one of the engagement photos with Alice, or Nihi, whatever we're gonna say. That's a maiden name now. And she and I are married, and she's gonna go by Alice Bowman. I have a beautiful wife. There she is in the picture. Maybe I'll put other pictures on screen, I don't know. But look, I'm over the moon, and this is a big deal for me. So I figured I'd catch you up to let you know that this has taken up a considerable amount of time, even though, I haven't put out any other content talking about it. The wedding was on Sunday, January 26th, just a little bit ago. Before it was a massive, constant parade of things to do, and after it I've been busy too, and it feels like the dust is just starting to settle from all that, and I'm finally processing the fact that I, Michael Guy Bowman, am a married man with a beautiful wife and a beautiful house. How did I get here? At some point I do want to put out the wedding video, which will be a production that we paid a little bit of money for, so it should look nice and tidy and be a fun thing, and you can see some of what the ceremony was like. It was a really nice thing that took place at the Casa Real, which is a venue run by Ruby Hill Winery in Pleasanton, California. That's in the East Bay, kind of near Livermore. And I've already got a couple of photos from some friends and family. It was a really fun time. One of those occasions that you remember for your whole life. I know it's a cliche, but cliches abound. I mean, that's what it was all about. It was really the special day. I feel like Alice hasn't made herself known in any of the videos, or at least I haven't gone out of my way to make Alice known, but she's been working really hard with me in the background here on a lot of things related to what I'm doing. She's responsible for the album cover to Your Majesty. She's also the person who illustrated the Bowman Stuck album cover as well. She's a fine illustrator with tons of training and a background in animation and other things like that too, and just a real astonishing talent. She's helped out with the last couple of music videos, the ones that I directed myself for Your Majesty. She helped me with that ad for Bowman Stuck. She went with me to the Requiem Cafe last year to film my set and help me out with that. At every step of the way, I've been being able to take, bigger strides because I have her in my corner, and it's something I'm super thankful for and amazed by. And Alice is a real genius, and beautiful and pretty and talented and smart and funny and all, a million other things I could say. Stuff I probably said better in my vows. And I'm so happy to have her as part of my life, and I just wanted to make sure all of you knew she was around, because she's amazing, and it feels crazy to not say anything about, maybe the biggest change in my life ever. Alice is a longtime fan, and she and I met at the end of 2022. She came to see me play at an open mic. Over the course of 2023, we got to know each other better, and we started dating for real over the summer. We were together for a little while before it just seemed super obvious that we were the right people for each other by early last year. And we made a plan to propose officially, and then really did it. We collaborated on an engagement ring, shared all the specifics of what would be a good engagement ring to get, and then I got it, and then I took her to the dilapidated remains of the Sutro bathhouse at Land's End on one of the more scenic parts of the western coast of California in San Francisco. And I got down on one knee and did my proposal there. And it was a real special occasion. I don't know how she didn't expect me to do it, because she even knew I had the ring, but whatever. We ended up going back there and doing a little photo shoot, the one from the poster here, in different clothes, but in the same spot. Sent out our invitations once we picked the venue, the Casa Real in Pleasanton, which is a real wonderful spot, strong recommend. And then the planning began, which, took an insane amount of time. By the time the day of, I think we had like 140 people show up. In Pleasanton, California, we had a really wonderful time hanging out with some of my old friends the day ahead, including some longtime collaborators you may be familiar with. I brought in Scott Stutzman, my childhood bestie, who you may know from so many of the weird sketches on here, to be my best man. Brought him and his wife Carrie. Brought in my friend Richard, who was the one who actually introduced me to MS Paint Adventures when I was still in college, and who illustrated some of the art assets for Mobius Chip and Hadron Collido, and a bunch of track art for other people actually as well. I brought in my friend Bijan from Los Angeles. He's been drumming on the last couple of albums for me. I actually met him out there in 2019, and we played a few shows together before COVID hit and I moved back up here. I brought Luke, who shot the Ulterior Motives album cover and also the videos for Identity Thief and for Mechanism of the Heart. Those are his two productions. Probably some of the most polished videos that I've got. Very ambitious, very funny filmmaker. The reason I have so many great wedding photos already, in spite of the fact that my official ones that we paid money for aren't out yet, are because Richard and Bijan and Luke all brought nice cameras, and we're trading stats on what lenses and stuff they use the whole time. Scott even brought me a disposable camera to use to take some special snapshots. Hopefully I'll get all those taken soon and get them to the CVS or wherever they do that now. I haven't had to have photos actually developed in a million years. And it was super funny that he did that, because we actually brought in instant cameras, little Polaroid style cameras that shoot out a tiny instant photograph off the top of them to the wedding, and had people sign our guest book with instant photos that way. So it feels like everybody I know is really, really into photography. Something I hadn't really thought that hard about before. Scott also brought me this bag of buttons. He says he has a button maker at home. Him and Carrie proudly presented me with the official bumper to bumper broadcast logo, the one I ripped off the Car Talk logo when I designed it for that sketch ages ago. This one says, I ate 5 cheeseburgers at San Jacinto Battleground State Historic Site. Ask me why. In case you don't remember, it's from Texas history. Of course you remember. It was great. It was hilarious. And all 10 minutes of it are worth watching. And this one that just says, let's talk about backyard fun.
Backyard fun!
These are real great. I'm going to start wearing a vest like a guy that works at Fridays in the 90s and just flare up. Oh, how much can I even really tell you about what happened on the day of? I mean, there's footage of it. We woke up in the morning at the hotel we were staying in to be close to the venue. Alice and I got prepared separately. She got prepared with her mother and my mother and her maid of honor, Crystal. And I got prepared in the hotel room. I put on my suit. I put on a teal tie. The wedding color was teal. Maybe you could call it an aqua. I took a bunch of photos with Scott, who showed up. I hadn't told him we were supposed to be taking special getting ready photos. So he showed up to the hotel fully still in his regular clothes. And I think we took a wonderful weird photo session that I'm hoping to put out later. And then we showed up separately to the venue. Our parents got there, our flower girl and our ring bearer got there. Everything was really smooth. Of course, we did a first look. I finally got to see Alice looking, perfect with her makeup and the dress and the veil and everything, and these cool sleeves and all that. And then we went and we did the ceremony, which was very moving and beautiful. I'll give you a few key details from the ceremony We had a harp player for our live music accompaniment. Her name's Krista Strader. And we selected quite a few little special pieces of music. Moon River for Alice's entrance as the bride because she loves Audrey Hepburn a lot. We had a very moving set of vows, which I do think we got a little bit weepy up there. It might have been too much for both of us. But you do it because you love each other, and that's your chance to be sincere. And we did the ring exchange. For mine, I'm gonna hold this up right here. This ring is a little different because it is a Mobius strip, like the album of the same name. Wow. That's right, it has only one side. It goes continuously all the way around. With those rings, we thee wedded. Big kiss, and we walked out to the Mendelssohn Wedding March, which was really nice. Then we went to the little signing room. We finished doing the documents. We had a beautiful reception. The thing that we entered the room to was How Do I Live, the Trisha Yearwood version. We used that as our walk-on music. We both gave a little speech together, and we got some extremely... Hey, cat. Ebony, have you ever been in a video before? If I really never put you in a video before, this is my cat, Ebony. This is my grandfather's cat before he passed, and he left the cat to me, so now she's my special friend who is trying desperately to get off screen. Goodbye! Oh wait, she was in the live streams before. I forgot about that. Oh, okay. So we had some really great speeches from her father, from my mother, from our maid of honor, Crystal, and also from Scott, my best man. He gave a very fun and winding speech that I think at various points apologized to my parents for being the corrupting influence on me as a young man who we may have mutually enabled each other's bizarre sense of humor growing up. The handful of things we have put online together are like the tip of an iceberg that goes way back to, before we even knew what kind of weird world we were going to end up living in with sketches and media and all this kind of stuff online where people can just find it. At one point, he fully just said, I still don't know what Homestuck is. I can't figure it out. Like, I will try desperately to have, to memorize 3 Homestuck plot arcs if you can explain them, because I can't figure it out. He mentioned Bumper to Bumper again. At one point, he went, we're brothers, and then Alice literally went, we're brothers, right back to him.
Brother!
It's so gratifying to feel like I've had this chance to bring people from different parts of my life together, and to reflect that even before all of this, I've had so many people, help me along the way and affect me, and form a more complete picture of who I am, which I guess is sort of the goal of getting married, is to better complete each other, which is how I'm feeling about the whole thing, is more complete than I was before. Alice is somebody that seems to have no limit to how much she's willing to learn and understand the story of me, and I find her just as fascinating and brilliant and compelling and everything, and I want to go out of my way for her to show her all the same seemingly limitless affection she shows me. One special thing I did just for the ceremony, it felt like when we met I was still working on the music for Your Majesty, and I spent a lot of time on a project that seemed to not really reflect the fact that she was here in a part of my life. So one of the first things I wanted to do now is to write music for her. So I have a song that I'm working on that I debuted at the wedding. I showed up with a backing track and sang it, and I think it went over really well. So I'm gonna get the vocals finished up and on the drums and a couple other things and have it released at some point. Our first dance music was No One Comes Close by Infinity Song, who I've been getting more into lately. Our first open dance song was As the World Falls Down from Labyrinth by David Bowie. It was my chance to finally dance at the Labyrinth Ball, surrounded by all the people in my life. It really was the kind of experience you dream about having, or at least I have, since I had that on tape when I was a kid, and there it was happening for me for real. What more could you ask for from a celebration of the life that you're starting with someone you love? The DJ who we hired to take care of the reception was super stoked to go through my stuff when he found out I was a musician, and he picked, he was like, oh, what would be really cool to throw into the party playlist since you're a singer? What about one of your songs? And he wanted to play Powerline for everybody. So among the many things we got down to that night, we danced to Powerline, we danced to the Roman Bowman.
Big circle around Michael and Alice.
And that's about as much recap as I think it requires. We did some more hanging out. Obviously, a million things happened. I'm sure Alice would probably have her own version of this she wants to tell. And I'm going to be probably posting more of the wedding content as it comes out. Of course, there is that wedding video. They're going to give me the footage, so I'm going to try to edit something together once that song comes out in due time. It takes a little bit for this stuff to get developed because, they're pros, and so they're going to take all the time to do the grading and editing and blah, 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 all that stuff. I hope you are all patient with me while briefly I'm doing wedding content, because I'm still over the moon about it, and it's like the biggest thing that's happened to me in ages. And I hope you'll learn to know and love and appreciate Alice as much as I do. It's the best thing that's happened to me. I don't know how else to put it. Oh, in her vows, she mentioned that she will continue helping me pack CDs, which is why I feel like I should at least transition quickly into a plug. Yes, Bowman Stuck is still available. I'm so happy with the response we've had to the Bowman Stuck CD. It's incredible to finally have so much Homestuck music available on physical media ever. This is the first time it's ever happened, and I'm glad that people have been enjoying it and telling their friends and, moving this thing along, because it's super cool. It's another dream come true. Somehow we've balanced getting all that figured out with planning the wedding. It's honestly been probably too many things to do at once, but when it rains it pours. That's life. That's available at bowman.bandcamp.com. So is this one, Your Majesty, still my newest stuff. Still on CD, still around. Please check this one out as well. If you're an old Homestuck, please listen. I'm interesting and talented, and the proof is all here. I didn't just go away. I'm doing great stuff these days. I'm sure you can find space on your shelf for a little more Bowman. And yes, I'm not the only Bowman. I mean, given that my parents were already the Bowmans to me, and Dad's parents were the Bowmans before that, but Alice is Alice Bowman too now. And for clarity, we are going by the Bowmans. That's our family name now. It's so cool that she would want to take that name on, but I guess it means something to her the same way it means something to me, and now we're a part of that dream together, which is way cool. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more stuff as time goes by, and thanks for checking in.